Raila Amolo Odinga was born on January 7, 1945, in Maseno, Kisumu County, into a family destined to shape the political destiny of Kenya. His father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, was a towering figure in the independence struggle and became Kenya's first vice president. From the very beginning, Raila's life was intertwined with the turbulent story of a nation finding its footing after colonial rule. He inherited not only his father's name, but also his defiance, his vision, and his unyielding belief in the power of the people. Educated first in Kenya and later in the German Democratic Republic, Raila trained as an engineer, mastering welding and mechanical design. Yet while his hands were skilled in the precision of machinery, his heart was drawn to the rough and unpredictable world of politics. By the 1970s, he had returned to Kenya, balancing business ventures with a growing involvement in the opposition movement. His entry into politics was not a choice of convenience, but a calling born of conviction. The 1980s marked the crucible of his political life. In 1982, Raila was accused of involvement in a failed coup against President Daniel Arap Moi's one-party regime. Though the evidence was contested, he was detained without trial for nearly a decade across multiple imprisonments. These years of confinement hardened his resolve and earned him the reputation of a political prisoner, a man willing to sacrifice personal freedom for the promise of democracy. His name became synonymous with resistance, and his story resonated with millions who longed for change. When multi-party politics was reintroduced in the early 1990s, Raila emerged as a central figure. He was elected as Member of Parliament for Langata in 1992, beginning a parliamentary career that would span 2 decades. His charisma, fiery oratory, and ability to mobilize the masses made him both admired and feared. He was not merely a politician. He was a movement, a symbol of defiance against entrenched power. The late 1990s and early 2000s saw Raila at the heart of Kenya's shifting political alliances. He played a pivotal role in the National Rainbow Coalition, NARC, which ended the 4-decade rule of the Kenya African National Union, KANU, in 2002. His support was instrumental in Mwai Kibaki's victory, and Raila was rewarded with ministerial positions. Yet his relationship with Kibaki soured, culminating in the disputed 2007 elections, one of the darkest chapters in Kenya's history. The violence that followed claimed over 1,000 lives and displaced hundreds of thousands. Raila, who believed he had been robbed of victory, became prime minister in a power-sharing deal brokered by international mediators. It was a bittersweet triumph. He had achieved high office, but at a cost that scarred the nation. As prime minister from 2008 to 2013, Raila championed reforms, most notably the passage of the 2010 Constitution, which redefined Kenya's governance structure and devolved power to the counties. This achievement remains one of his most enduring legacies. Yet, his quest for the presidency remained elusive. He contested again in 2013, 2017, and 2022, each time galvanizing millions but falling short of State House. His supporters called him Baba, the father of the nation, while others dubbed him Agwambo, the mysterious one, for his uncanny ability to survive political storms. Beyond Kenya, Raila's influence extended to the African continent. Appointed as the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development in 2018, he worked to advance regional integration and connectivity. His vision was not confined to Kenya alone. He saw Africa as a continent whose future depended on unity, infrastructure, and shared prosperity. In his later years, Raila remained a formidable force. Even in defeat, he commanded loyalty and respect. His rallies drew crowds, his words stirred debate, and his presence shaped the political landscape. He was the eternal opposition leader, the man who never stopped believing that Kenya could be better, fairer, and freer. On October 15, 2025, while seeking treatment in India, Raila Odinga passed away at the age of 80. His death marked the end of an era. For decades, he had been the heartbeat of Kenya's opposition, the conscience of its democracy, and the embodiment of resilience. His journey was one of near victories and unfinished battles, but also of profound impact. He never became president, yet his imprint on Kenya's political identity was indelible. Raila Odinga's story is not one of failure, but of endurance. He redefined what it meant to be a leader, not by the offices he held, but by the struggles he waged. He was a man who stood against dictatorship, who fought for constitutional reform, who gave voice to the marginalized, and who carried the hopes of millions. His life reminds us that leadership is not always measured by titles, but by the courage to stand firm when it matters most. As Kenya reflects on his legacy, Raila Odinga remains a paradox, a man who never reached the presidency, yet shaped the presidency itself. A leader who lost elections, yet won the hearts of generations. A politician who endured defeat, yet left behind a victory for democracy. His was a life of sacrifice, resilience, and unyielding belief in the promise of Kenya.